socialism unbiblical? I'll say it this way. Dictatorial socialism, tyrannical socialism, any kind of domination of one party or individual over another party or individual is always wrong. Because Jesus tells us that the kind of leaders He wants are people who are servant leaders. And so if you look at our modern day world and through history, you find that socialism as we see it ordinarily is generally associated with a dictatorial regime of some kind. Whether that's Karl Marx or Mao in China, whatever it is, socialism is actually a dictatorship in most cases. Now, socialism as an economic theory is totally biblical. In fact, the Old Testament is brimming with it. It says specifically this: after every 7 years, you need to let your land go fallow and don't plant anything and just eat whatever grows. But after 50 years, you need to give everybody's land back to them. And you need to cancel all debts. So that what we do in Israel is you start out in Joshua's day, everybody gets an allocation of land and resources. 50 years later, that gets reset. Everybody gets that same allocation of land and resources. And even though things shift a little bit, 50 years later, it resets. And so it's kind of a combination of a socialism and capitalism that sort of mesh a little bit. But then there are other places in the New Testament where you find that people are selling everything they had and giving it to each other, the other people in the church, so that they could all make sure no one had any needs. Now, socialism does not work if you eliminate God from the picture. Because socialism is based upon a desire God has for us to be sharing, to be cooperative, to be humble, to not be greedy. But if you allow for greed at all, you need to have authority to squash it. And that's why socialism in society today develops into dictatorialship. Because greed can't coexist, and the only thing to counteract human greed is authority, right? Or God. One of these days we're going to live in a society run by God Himself, where I do not believe there will be any exchange of monetary resources. And there will not be a wealth system. There will be a God system. And we will all just be participating with Him. So socialism as it's practiced today, I would say, is unbiblical. Socialism as a concept, as a theory, in an ideal world, is completely biblical.